Hey, y'all, listen. Happy Wednesday. Welcome into the building. Happy Wednesday. It's Trending Topics Wednesday. I'm glad to see y'all here. If y'all come in, stop cheating the diva, purchase your ticket, hit the like button. Listen, people, it's simple title tonight, and the title is called Done. Done. Shannon Sharpe is done. He's toast. I don't care what happens or does not happen with this particular case. He's done. And he's done. You know why? Because of the temperature in the room. The people are tired of hearing, and I'm going to be keeping real 100 with y'all. They tired of hearing about these black men putting their hands on the woman and doing all kind of stuff. I'm sorry. I'm trying to fix my light real quick. They tired of it. So he's done. He's done. The audio came out. And listen, he was saying yesterday, go ahead, Tony, release the whole thing. Because if I had it, I would. I'm like, do you really want that whole thing released? We thought it couldn't get no worse than I'm going to choke the S out of you. Now he said he was going to choke her in public. And then he gave the headline. So that y'all ain't got to make up no headline. He gave it. He said, big black man chokes little white girl, and I'm paraphrasing, in public. Is he mental? This is my thing where I say dumb, stupid, and both. I usually say are both. He's dumb, stupid. He's both. Big black man. And Shannon Sharpe is, he's just, even forget about his working out. He's a big guy. And they're not going to look too kindly on that because she's a little girl. But this is, you know what? Let me tell you something. And this is, I'm going to bring religion in it. I'm going to tap the religion at the door. I'm going to tap it at the door. I'm not trying to tell nobody what to believe in, not believe in, but whether you believe in religion or not, the principles make sense. The Bible says when a man finds a woman, he finds himself a wife, he finds himself a good thing. Now, there's husbands that cheat, but for the most part, these married men don't find themselves in these shenanigans in their 60s. In your 50s, you in the gym looking at a little girl that could be your granddaughter, your daughter, your niece, your niece, and you looking at her wanting to hit it. A grown man in the gym asking a little girl, she's a baby and compared to him, for her number. Now, I want you to catch this. I'm not saying anything should happen to anybody. But we got to raise these girls up to want more. All of them want a man with some money so they never have to work again in their life. But you know what, though? They should get it, because if the man is stupid enough to fall in the rabbit hole, then that's on you. How many NFL players can we name that are giving out major portion of their check to child support because they fell for the Instagram model, the big booty and the smile? How many times you gonna fall for a big booty and a smile? He's an old fool. That's right, KJ. He's an old fool. And you know what? It's ain't nothing worse than a person that don't get their blessings. This man, when Cat Williams came on his podcast, he got blessed 10 times over. And if somebody know the Bible, help me out. Help me out in the chat. Where they said, I give you so much, it's going to be running over. You're not even going to be able to, it's just too much blessings. The blessings are going to be running over. He had blessings running over from that one interview with Cat Williams. He broke YouTube history. And out of Shannon Sharpe's own mouth, he said he made more money on YouTube than he did with his NFL career. A fool. And like K and J said, an old fool. Just dumb and done. D-O-N-E. Somebody put in the chat, hashtag done. And to my mods out there, Sasuke, Carbar, and Katrina, thank you. Done. Then we got Suge Knight. Let me tell you something. There's some people that are scary, and there's some people that are scary. And Suge Knight is scary. This man behind bars, and he's still thugging it out. Now, a lot of people, you know, when they go to jail, they got to be afraid. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't think Diddy was going to last this long. Listen, I'm 10 toes. I did not. I didn't think he was going to survive. And he's been in there for months now. So I'm shocked. But a Suge Knight, yeah, I knew he would survive in jail. Who gonna mess with a Suge Knight? So his lawyer, because Suge Knight right now, he's doing 28 years. 28 years. So his lawyer, he's also being a civil lawsuit for the man. The reason why he's behind bars is because he ran over a man with his truck. That's gangster. And I want to say when it happened, it was broad daylight. You gangster. You running over somebody with your truck. So the family is suing him, has him in a civil lawsuit. In 2022, the jury was a hung jury. So the civil lawsuit didn't go through. So now it's being retried again. But the lawyer was like, I want out. I don't want to represent him no more. This ain't good. I can't represent him. He claimed that Suge Knight said something so crazy to him over the phone, and he said he was done. The judge said, no, you're not. And Suge said, no, you're not. You got to represent me. Now, when the lawyer represented him in 2022, he didn't get paid. To me, that alone, the judge should be like, okay, I'm going to set you free. Child. The judge said no. Imagine you got to defend a thug who ain't paying you. It's one thing to defend a thug and get paid. It's another thing you defending a thug and you're not getting paid. Good googly my. They said in the court papers, thank you, Carbar, the Cat Williams interview earned him $6 million. One interview. That's no joke. So you see, they said too much is given, much is required. First of all, I wouldn't act a fool, no way. But if I earned $6 million off of one interview on YouTube, do you think I'm going to be up here acting a fool in these streets? Dummy. And I wonder if it was just the original part of the interview, because remember, he chopped that interview up in pieces. Smart. And even the chopped up pieces was getting millions of views. He's a dummy, and now he's done. But Suge Knight, he's another story. And listen, over here, y'all know every now and then I like to try to give a lesson from the diva. Maybe that should be another segment I should have one day. Lessons from the diva. Because we need all the aunties and the true uncles and the true grandmas to step back up and rise up and really become part of the village. The aunties and the uncles, they call him Unc. They need to revoke that title from Shannon Sharpe. He ain't nobody uncle. We need the real aunties, the real uncles, the real grandmas, the nanas, and all of them to stand up. Because the generations is going wild. Kenya Moore is old enough. I believe Kenya Moore is in her 50s. And she's still out here playing childhood games. If you ask anybody a good tip about work, the last thing you want to do, especially in this day and age, because all of these jobs have merged and all of them are connected. You working for McDonald's, you get fired from McDonald's, you go to apply for another job, and then you find out on the back end that McDonald's is connected to 5 other restaurants. And you wonder why when you apply to those restaurants, they say no, because they know what you did at McDonald's. Same thing for a hospital. You act crazy in General Hospital, and then you go try to work at ABC Hospital or this hospital, that hospital, and you find out at the back end that all 3 of those hospitals are connected. So now you got to wipe all those off your list because you messed up at General Hospital. There's some things in life you just got to let go and let God. It's an old saying. You got to let go. Kenya in these streets thinking the fans could get her back on RHOA. Did she not learn from Nene? The fans been begging for Nene to come back on RHOA for about 100 years. Nene finally got the memo and started her own YouTube show. It took Nene years. The fans can't bring you back. And if one thing you better learn about Andy, he'll play in your face. They caught Andy in the streets and they say, Andy, can you get invited and then uninvited to the reunion? He ain't say a word. He ain't say nothing. And well, matter of fact, I'll take it back. He goes, I love Kenya. Well, what does love look like to you? Because if you love me, and this was my first transgression, showing them pictures of Britt Eady, then get me back on the show. That's love. Vouch for me. Knock on the exec doors and say, yo, Kenya been working for us for years, decade. I know she was wrong. She learned from her suspension. Let's open the door back up. So let me tell you this. When you leave a job, shut up and let it go. If you want to try to go back. But don't think you're going to be talking slime about me and my job on these streets and then I'm going to open the door back to you. You're a whole fool. Because what the bigger picture is she got to understand is that Brittany Eady didn't let her go. Bravo did. So now if you out here saying justice for Kenya, you trying to say that Bravo did you dirty indirectly. I mean, catch the matches, people. If you want to go back, chill. Silence is golden. Now I done talked enough, and let me just go ahead and bring the people in the building. Okay, y'all know who's on the docket here. The title's called Done. I need what in the chat, y'all? Because it looked like we're about to have a ladies' night on this platform. I'm seeing the backstage. It looks like it's going to be ladies' night. I need a what in the chat? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Wednesday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. Shannon Sharpe, done. Suge Knight's lawyer, done. Kenya Moore, done. I'm about to bring the people in the building. Brandon, thank you so much for the super chat. Choo choo diva. Had no idea what Shannon Sharpe did till I caught the replay of your last live. Clutch my pearls. I'm trying to tell you, clutch the pearls, okay? Nearly choked the S out of myself. What in the tarnation about to spit my drink out? I'm trying to tell you, you're old fool. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. Hey, Felicia. Hey, Leo.
Hey, Diva.
Hey, Katrina.
Hey, Devo. Hey, panel. Hey, chat. Choo, choo, choo.
Hey, choo, choo, choo.
Listen, it looks like it's ladies' night, and we're going to get it in. We're going to get this thing done. I might as well go ahead and start with Shannon Sharpe because he's done and he's an old fool. $6 million off of one interview, and you out in these streets playing games, talking about you want to choke the something out of somebody. People don't understand when they're given a gift. I guess, you know what, maybe sometimes people get too many blessings and they get stupid. So Shannon Sharpe allegedly threatens to choke the R accuser in public in second audio clip released amid $50 million lawsuit. Let's take a listen. This is crazy.
Well, what, Gabby?
Well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in...
Hi, Diva.
Hoped, so I guess we're going.
Yeah. I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you did with the shit you did to me.
Okay, well...
Well, what?
Child, I would be so embarrassed. I would crawl in a hole right now. Shannon Sharpe allegedly threatened to choke his R accuser in public in the second audio clip released by his accuser's lawyer amid the $50 million lawsuit filed against him. During an alleged phone conversation with the former NFL star obtained by TMZ Sports, the woman referred to as Jane Doe in her lawsuit asked the former NFL star if he was coming to LA tomorrow, to which he responded, yes. Well, I don't know why you're going to go out, she said. The man on the call, identified by Doe's attorney as Sharpe, allegedly replied, don't worry about it. And then they redacted her name. Well, okay. She responded, prompting the club, Shay Shay Host 56, to ask, okay, what? Doe then said, well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going. The man allegedly said in response, ha, I might choke you in public. Big black guy choked small white woman. The athlete's R accuser then told him that wasn't a good look. However, he allegedly hit back saying, it's not a good look that you did that as you did to me. Okay, well, she replied before he asked, well, what? It's unclear when the alleged phone call took place. Page Six cannot immediately independently confirm the authenticity of the undated clip or whether it is in fact Sharpe in the audio. Page Six has reached out to lawyers for both Sharpe and his accuser for comment, but did not immediately hear back. Over the weekend, Sharpe was sued in Nevada for allegedly R-ing dough on numerous occasions. The alleged victim, who is being represented by Houston-based attorney Tony Busby, claimed in court documents obtained by Page Six that the podcast host SA'd her multiple times at the end of 2024 and beginning of 2025. Sharpe denied those accusations in a statement provided to Page Six by his legal team on Monday. Mr. Sharpe, and this is the word they love, categorically denies all allegations of coercion or misconduct, especially the gross lie of R, and will not submit to what he sees as an egregious attempt at blackmail, Sharpe's attorney Lanny J. Davis said in the statement. He stands firmly by the truth and is prepared to fight these allegations, these false claims vigorously in court. He looks forward to vindication through due process and judgment based on the facts and the law. The woman and her legal team then released the audio clip of a man they identified as Sharpe allegedly threatening to choke the S out of her when he sees her. The former Denver Broncos took to Instagram on Tuesday, claiming in a new video that the accuser's allegations were a shakedown. He accused Busby of orchestrating an entire ordeal and trying to manipulate the media. He also urged the woman and her legal team to release an alleged S tape that will try to make him look guilty and play into every stereotype one could possibly imagine. Doe also released alleged text messages between her and Sharpe in which she confronted the ESPN host about one of the alleged SAs. I cried when you left because I begged you to put on a condom and not put it in my backside, and you didn't listen. Doe allegedly texted a former tight end per TMZ. I don't care what our history is, she continued. No means no, Shannon. Before the lawsuit went public, Sharpe offered to settle with Doe for $10 million during mediation. However, Busby told Page Six Tuesday that his clients rejected that offer to settle and decided to file the suit this past Sunday. Oh, this is so much. Felicia, your thoughts?
Well, good evening, everyone. You know, the wonderful thing about technology and social media, particularly YouTube, you get to release your own stuff to millions of people every day. So I guess we're going to get a little bit every day. And so I'm going to say that the 10 million is now between 15 and 20 million. And every day that a new audio drops is going to go up. And then when the video drop, she going to get all the money. Yeah. You know, Shannon was talking over the phone. They say allegedly that's his voice now. Ooh, it sounds like Shannon getting nervous. He's saying that ain't his voice, or maybe it was modified or something, or he didn't say that. Shame on you, Shannon. Just shame on you. And as I'm listening to this piece play out with that, what was it, Diva? A big black man goes after small white, chokes small white woman. Well, we saw that movie last year with Jonathan and Grace, and we saw what happened. And we didn't see him choking her. We didn't see her slamming her. We saw Jonathan running down the street, and she was going behind him, and he got a year's probation. And I think he had to go to counseling at least once a week for the whole year. So, yeah, Shannon, you're talking stupid, Shay. You're a fool. And by the time this finished, I don't care how much money you made on the interview, she gonna get all the money because you don't know how to shut up, you don't know how to go into rehab, and you don't know how to say you're really sorry because you're a whole hot mess. I'm done.
Ooh, thank you, Q. Thank you so much for the super chat. Ain't this ironic? You done said this right here. The irony is that Kat warned that folks would be exposed in 2025. Shannon just never thought, and I added to 2025. Shannon just never thought he'd be among them. Whole time he was doing all this, child. Oh well, choo, all aboard. Next stop, jail. Oh my God. Woo, child. Unbelievable. Hold on one second. I'm coming to you, Leo. Akeisha, thank you so much for the super chat. Stephen A. basically said ESPN is done. They're under Disney. He said it's not in their hands. Yeah, they are under Disney. And that's why Stephen A. Smith said he didn't really get into it with LeBron James. Leo, your thoughts? He's done.
Yeah, he is. But I do find it interesting, y'all, that I have not seen criminal charges. So whatever's on the tape can't send him to jail, but it's too bad now because his career is definitely over. You can't put a fork in it. But to me, it's very interesting that also too that he has a certain preference, which he can pick any, he can love his love. You can love whoever you want to. But the thing that really irks my nerves is that you get on this Dolce internet and tell us that they persecuting another black man trying to bring you down. Don't come to me. Leave me out of this. Because that's dog whistling. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you whatever that's getting ready to be exposed, you participated in that. And for whatever reason, you bad advice, whatever, all this shucking and jiving and doing all this talking does not matter. It has already exposed you to be an abusive man, and I do not care. I am totally over it. These abusive men in the media, I am so over all these people coming. Because one thing I can appreciate, though, in the socials that I did notice, they ain't going up for Shannon like they been doing for these people. Because we tired. We tired. We are over it. So whoever the next girl that comes out, because it will be someone else, I hope she files criminal charges. And the days are over now. Cassie done changed the whole game. Today's price is not yesterday's price. Everybody running to the courthouse to try to get them $1 or $2 from these abusive men. And the problem is yeah, they good, they getting up on their game, but the real problem is that abusers are actual abusers are getting exposed one way or the other.
This is messy. This is messy. Hold on one second. I'm coming to you, Tay. Just give me a minute. I want to just share screen real quick.
And he was saying, why didn't you date her mom? Where did you guys meet? Forever 21? Cracking up, just asking really invasive questions. And what really hurt me, this was the kicker, was the interview, and it also had this headline on it that said, Donnell Rawlings has baby. Really wanted to address something that has really been bothering me for the past couple of months. My son's dad is a comedian and an actor, and he did an interview with a man by the name of Shannon Sharpe on his podcast. Now, on that podcast, Shannon Sharpe did a lot of digging. My son is almost 10 years old, and my son's dad and I broke up over 6 years ago. So for him to ever try to bring me up or a family dynamic or the age gap is very, very shocking to me. It's not surprising, but I just feel like, my son's dad has a girlfriend already. Why not do digging on her? And he was making fun of him at the fact that we have an age difference of 23 years. And, he was saying, why didn't you date her mom? Where did you guys meet? Forever 21? Cracking up, just asking really invasive questions. And what really hurt me, this was the kicker, was the interview, and it also had this headline on it that said, Donnell Rawlings has baby. Really wanted to address from Bad Girls Club, 23 years younger. So crazy. Insane. As you guys know, we co-parent. So I know that my son is getting older. I always think like, oh my God, one day my son is going to see this. And I just did not like, it felt very, very icky how it was put out there. I felt really exploitive, and like, I just didn't like it. I live my life in peace. I just take care of my son. I work and I spend time in my garden, and I just do as much as I can to contribute to my own peace. And so I just felt very disrespected at the fact that he labeled me as that. I was just some crazy 23-year-old woman that was on Bad Girls Club. I didn't like it. It sent me into a depression. It kept me up at night. It really, really bothered me. And so I was on Twitter. I prayed about it. I said, God, you know, I'm old enough to know that, like, there's just certain people that are not nice. There's certain people that are very nosy from Bad Girls Club that will, you know, they're like, let's do this for shock value so we can get a lot of views. It just turned me all the way off. Now, last night I was on Threads and I saw his name trending. I thought, wow, that's so weird. And then I clicked on it and I saw accuser. And, you know, he's being accused of like really horrific things. And the girl was 19 when it started. So I'm thinking in my head, wow, you were really projecting. You went digging and you found the fact that we have a huge age gap and you highlighted that and you tried to make fun of it, but you were actually really living that life, if not worse. I mean, this girl was a teenager. And, you know, with all the evidence that she put out there, I don't know if it's, you know, good evidence or not, or, you know, whatever. The stuff that I seen was pretty awful. I just feel like if you live in a glass house, please don't throw stones. You are very quick with the lip to ask him details on and why didn't you date that will, you know, they date her mom. Why didn't you date her mom? Oh, did you guys meet at Forever 21? At least I was 21. You know what I'm saying? Like 19 is too young. You at your big age, you know that. You have kids that are probably older than that. It really hurt my feelings with that headline. And now look at all the headlines that you have, you know, being accused by a 19-year-old. You literally, it's just like, it's crazy how, I wouldn't say karma works, but how the universe works. I knew that there was something not right as to why he was asking these questions. It just felt off. You know, it didn't feel like it was in good faith. And you were poking fun at it and you were living worse. So, her mom, why?
She's 23. Darnell. 20. Why you didn't date her mom? Why you go for the Darnell?
Didn't date her mom because why didn't I date her mom?
Yeah, good question.
No, wait.
I'm asking the question.
No, because
this ain't the Darnell Raleigh show.
Love is love.
If you don't,
Love is love.
I agree with you.
What?
You like them young, though.
I say Drake. I heard you. Nope.
Don't do that. I don't like them young. I like what I love. I didn't groom nobody, son. It is what it is.
But
I can't date nobody my age and get what I wanted. What I look like getting a 48-year-old bitch pregnant.
it's possible.
It could have happened, but I ain't want them odds.
She's 23.
Tay, your thoughts?
Shannon Sharpe, it's like you can't keep your hands to yourself. And shame on you, Shane. Shame on you. But you smart, but at the same time, you are dumb and stupid at the same time. You should cover your track. Nope. When you became a celebrity, your past will come to hunt you. And it will get you trouble right there. Your career is over, Shane. Done. Game over. That's all, Diva.
Ooh, you said done, game over. Thank you. Dustin, your thoughts?
For one, I want to say I'm back. I'll be back on the panel for now. I'm back on the panel and once again, Diva, so glad to be back. And also, I hope that the people that he done wrong gets the justice they deserve, because he does not, and his future is done and over with. And I can especially say that for ESPN. They don't put up with any kind of bull crap. So your future is officially done, Shannon Sharpe, and you deserve everything. I hope all the people get the justice, because they don't deserve to be treated the way they were treated by you. So that's the point of blank, Diva.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Katrina, your thoughts?
My thoughts is that girl is crazy. She's crazy. The reason why I say that It's because you came out with this lawsuit. You should have waited until he most definitely got the deal. Now Disney probably is going to rescind that offer, and he's not going to get that 100 million. And Shannon Sharpe net worth is only 14 million. So you would have been a better off waiting before you did all this. You should have made sure he had the money in hand before you came out with these allegations. So you might get the 10 million, but I doubt if you're gonna get anything else. Because if they take that offer back, he's not gonna have that 100 million. She played her cards too soon. You should have waited because you heard that he was going to get this contract and you thought you was going to get more. But by you coming out with these allegations and the money is not in his hands, because Disney don't play that. Even when Ellen came out the closet, they pulled Ellen's show down. So you should have waited and made sure all your ducks was in a row. You listened to Tony Bugsby and all that because you said the man was going to get $100 million. But these folks might take that offer back off that table according to the allegations that's out on him right now. Um, and it's a sick situation. And what do I tell people all the time? Stop leaving paper trails. Y'all leave too many paper trails with texts, voicemails, and everything because I'm quite sure he didn't know he was being recorded. And he on the phone talking to her. So I hope she in a state that she can record it and without him knowing it. This is a messy situation. Nobody should get away with anything. And I'm not victim shaming, but honey, if he argued you one time before, why you keep going back? No man deserve, no woman should be deserve to be treated that way. But why you keep going back and you saying he got to pay 25,000 this cheat, $25,000 for that cheat? Why are you still going back if he's doing all these horrible things to you? I wouldn't want to have nothing else to do with him. He can keep that money or whatsoever and leave me alone. I'll take my piece over that money any day. You the one kept going back. He's a nasty person anyway, but I'm just saying you kept going back into that situation. One like you was his wife. One, he didn't even claim you as a girlfriend. So you going back into that situation is a problem as well. As long and he has a problem too. But you carried your butt right on back over there and got the same treatment. Did you think the treatment was gonna be different the next time? And nobody ever saw you out with this man. So basically you was a concubine. So what I'm saying is I'm not giving him no grace. I'm not giving her no grace. And I'm not saying that no woman should ever be treated that way, but you was an opportunity that you did not have to keep going back. But we'll see how this plays out in court, Diva. That's all I got.
Ooh, child, this is good and nasty. Now all his good business gonna be on the streets. Just like with Diddy, all his good business about
Hey,
to
Diva.
be. No, Dustin, hold on now. I'm talking.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Let me share screen. Hold on one second. If somebody's not muted, please mute.
I mean, well, what you gonna do with this? I mean, well, what you gonna do with this?
So now they're going to start leaking all kinds of tapes everywhere. Shannon Sharpe, this is terrible. You're done. Julius.
Well, he just a ragamuffin, isn't he? A dusty ragamuffin. 'Cause ain't no way I'ma have a man tell me, and this we discussed on the show yesterday, oh, I'ma choke the living mess out of you. No, ma'am. No, sir. And I want to make this admittedly clear. No one deserves to go through abuse. But you don't keep going back. Have some integrity. And I want to say to this young lady, where was your integrity? Because at 18 and 19, you know what to do and not to do. You know when you're not around your village, you know you have the concept of right and wrong. both of these people, and I'm saying both, and I'm riding with Katrina tonight, in my point of view and opinion, are both ragamuffins and dusty. One is seeing a payday, and one can't keep it in his pants. They both dusty. They both need to go somewhere and sit down, and they both got work to do. And that's it. That's all.
Thank you, Julius. Mel, you're in the building. What are your thoughts?
Hey, Diva. I'm sorry. Yesterday I had a little technical difficulty, but I'm back tonight.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I think the bigger thing for me is that, you know what, Diva, I wish that what I feel like right now in 2025, and who knows what the future holds, to the black brothers, pretty much, you know, gay, straight, or whatever, just the black guys, just the brothers. Now, there's some good men out there, but obviously Diddy and this guy and all, you know, they having some troubles. And what I want to say is right now is that, you know, I think there was maybe 20 years ago, people thought, you know, we can party with the Trumps and the this ones, that one, we can be like them and act like them. In 2025, you found out that that's not the case, that there's certain rules for some people and other rules for other people who don't apply. Now, mind you, with the people like Trump, they go out there and go buck wild and even worse and be put into powerful positions. And if you're a black person in this country, you do the same thing, you will be crucified. And I wish that we as black people, especially the black men, move into an era of being a gentleman, that you're not doing terrible, you know, nasty, disgusting, problematic things behind the scenes, because not only because it's wrong to do it, we don't need you doing that, but because you can't do that in this country. You simply, even though we live in a lawless society, for some people, for us, we'll never be that way. So I wish that people who get power understand that, you know, if you have like these sort of, you know, crazy desires and problematic things and fetishes and all that kind of stuff, you pray about that or go therapy about it, but don't go out there and hurting people. Because again, nobody my thing is, if you are a man hurting somebody, black or white, you should all be put under the prison cell. You should all be, you know, put into a position where you have to pay something. But that's not the way it works. And I just hope that people who have these, you know, these very crazy desires, that they really take these lessons from these guys, especially the black guys, and say, oh, when I make $500 million, I can go out there and party and do whatever I want. No, you can't. You never again. And nobody should be acting that way. So that's what I'm hoping. I hope that people really take this as a lesson to fix themselves, you know, and so people won't get hurt also. But yeah, that's what I get from it too. I just wish that a lot of guys, when they get that money and they make all those millions, that they don't think there's opportunity to be, you know, giving people NDAs all the time. And no, that lifestyle's over. It should have never been that way, but especially for black people, we shouldn't do it. We can't do it. And that's what I think Shannon and people like him will find out. And I'm sure there's other people out there who are doing stuff. But again, if you're like a Trump guy, you'll be put into a powerful position. And if you're Shannon or other people, you would get, you know, torn apart. So I just think that all criminals should be, you know, should pay for their crimes. And that's just not the way it is. So I think it's better just to be a gentleman and to not do crazy things behind the scenes, especially if you're black.
Whew, well, Shannon, you're done. I'm wishing you all the best, but it's not looking good. It seems like everything that's getting leaked is getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. I'm going to go ahead and move on to Suge Knight. Suge Knight is scary. And really what the question I want you to answer when I go over this story is, if you were a lawyer, would you take Suge Knight on as a client? But let me go ahead and share screen. Let's get into this. So Suge Knight refuses to let the lawyer quit. Retrial begins Tuesday. So it did begin yesterday, and they said it's a whole hot mess, but I'll go over that another day. Right now, today is dedicated to his lawyer. I hope his lawyer just keep your head up, sir, because you're doing a case and you're not getting paid, and you got allegedly threatened. The Death Row Records founder appeared by video from prison Monday as his lawyer cited a breakdown in communication on the eve of the retrial in a wrongful death case. as he heads into his second wrongful death trial involving the fatal 2015 hit and run of Compton businessman Terry Carter. Suge Knight is digging in, refusing to let his longtime lawyer, David Kenner, withdraw from the case. A judge ruled Monday that Knight's resistance meant jury selection for the civil retrial will move ahead on Tuesday. For the last 3 weeks, Kenner has been asking either Knight or the court to cut him loose. On Monday, Kenner said nothing had changed and he was not prepared to try the case again after initial proceeding 3 years ago ended with a hung jury. Kenner again pleaded for his dismissal as Knight appeared by video from the San Diego prison where he's serving a 28-year sentence for voluntary manslaughter conviction stemming from Carter's death. Knight was wearing dark sunglasses and a blue zip-up jacket as he snacked on something he kept tossing in his mouth throughout the 45-minute hearing. I'm not ready because I had a remedial breakdown in communication with Mr. Knight, Kenner said from the defense table in a courtroom in downtown Los Angeles. There's a conflict of interest. It's my position that the court should relieve me as counsel and Mr. Knight should be able to try this case with the counsel of his choice. Kenner said in the defense he had not subpoenaed any witnesses and Knight had not retained an investigator. A back-to-back hearings earlier this month, Kenner, that's the lawyer, told the court that Knight had said something disturbing to him during a recent phone call that led to his request for release. He wouldn't say what it was. He also told the court Knight did not pay him for the first trial in the civil case back in 2022. The judge said, your motion to withdraw has been denied, and I stand by that ruling, Judge Thomas Long said Monday. It seems to me there's no reason you can't be the best, do the best you can to cross-examine and examine witnesses and present Mr. Knight's defense as well as possible. Of course, Mr. Knight is always free to remove you as counsel anytime he chooses to. That's up to him. A short time later, Knight raised his hand to catch the judge's attention, and he pretty much said that his lawyer was not communicating with him, right? So anyway, the counsel said that he asked the judge that can they have one phone call unrecorded every night after the trial. And then the judge said he will agree to that. I just want to skim through here and here again. At 2 hearings earlier this month, Knight appeared by phone, not by video, and admitted that he was at odds with his lawyer. Still, he refused to let Kenner walk away. He's my attorney, and I'm not getting rid of him, he said on April 4th. At one point, Kenner asked Knight to please discharge me. No, I will not, Knight responded. I want to keep everything the same, and I'm ready for trial. Thank you, Mr. Kenner. Thank you to all the parties. And he said, God bless. Now, there's more in this. They just tell exactly what happened and how he ran over the guy and how there's an actual video of him running over the guy. And this is about the civil suit. But I'm feeling for the lawyer right now. So, Felicia, if you were a lawyer, would you represent Suge Knight?
Well, Diva, let me put it like this. I've been called a lot of things. Some are true and some are not. But one thing I ain't been called is stupid. Ain't no way I would represent Suge Knight. I don't care how much money, how much stuff he would offer. If I was a public defender and they said, well, if we go and give you this case and you got to go in there and represent him, I'd quit on the spot. I'm afraid of him and been nowhere near 1,000 miles in his direction. No, ma'am. And yes, I feel bad for his lawyer. Because on top of that, you have not been compensated for your work.
That part.
I don't know. A private phone call? Suge Knight get everything he wants. Who has ever heard of somebody in the jail getting private phone calls? And the judge said, I'm good with that. Yeah, sure, you can have it. Everybody's scared of Suge. Everybody's scared of Suge.
And listen, and who gets to do from jail a podcast, collect calls from Suge?
Suge Knight.
Yeah, DV got sponsors.
So no, Diva. No, I would not. Thank you.
All right, so we got one person that will not be his lawyer. Leo, your thoughts? Are you gonna be his lawyer?
You got two people that would not, be his lawyer. Absolutely not. But I was thinking about the reason. Well, first of all, we already get that the lawyer and the prosecutor and the judge all work for the court. So that man is not, the judge is not going to release that lawyer no matter what, because he don't want to be, he wants his whatever ruling that happens under this trial, he wants it to withstand appellate court. So if he get a new, if Suge Knight get a new lawyer, he could argue in appellate court that he did not have proper defense because he got his defense attorney late. So that's the probably the reason why the judge say you gonna ride this one out, player. And I mean that's that lawyer fault. If he didn't do his Googles and figure out who Suge was before he took that case, that it's too bad for him. That I feel sorry for that man. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Tay, you gonna be his lawyer? You being Suge Knight lawyer?
No, I'm not. 1, he's a bully. 2, he's scary. 3, he's a big guy. And 4, he don't care about nobody but himself. He read what he sold. And tell me that I'm going to see him a Bible, a holy water for him. Because I'm not going to be his lawyer. Nope, I sure ain't. Good luck, Suge Knight, because your butt going to stay in the jail forever. Good luck.
Thank you, Tay. Katrina, did I come to you? Are you going to be Suge Knight's lawyer?
Girl, I think I would. Because if the man said no, you might get somebody knocking at his door. I don't know. I'm just saying. Listen.
Wait, hold on, Katrina. Hold on. He said he told him something disturbing on the phone.
Girl, listen. He told me something disturbing. He must told that man, look, you better be my lawyer. You know what's gonna happen. He ain't threatening that man. He ain't threatening.
Yeah,
so I'm quite. Yeah, you know he indeed it. So if anybody gonna run somebody over on a movie set in broad daylight, because they didn't play the part in the part of the movie that he was liked in that movie in Compton, and he ran over this man in broad daylight. Girl, yeah, I would defend you to the best as I can. If you don't get off, you just don't get off. I did my job and I'm on my way. But I think for that lawyer, I think that he should, simply because the reason is he probably threatened that man. And if that man don't do it, that man probably get a knock at the door. So I feel sorry for that little lawyer. And like Leo said, he should have did his Yelp reviews and his Google search before he took on that case. But then at that point in time, Suge Knight was worth like $300 million at that point. Now he's down to 200,000. So I feel sorry for the man. I really do. I feel him. I feel him. I'm quite sure his nights are very sleepless. But good luck, man. Good luck.
Mel, your thoughts?
Diva, no, I think I will take a disbarment and I'll take my chance in the crypto market. That's what I'm going to do.
Thank you, Mel. Julius, your thoughts? You gonna be his lawyer?
Nope. No. Say, point me to the nearest church. I gotta go to confession and talk to the Lord. Nope. Not Nope.
Thank you. Dustin, you gonna be Suge Knight lawyer?
No, and you gotta be crazy if you think I am, because you gotta pay me $1 million, and I might not even do it for $1 million. You're crazy, Diva. You're crazy. I'm sorry, but you're crazy.
Thank you. In my opinion, you want to be Suge Knight lawyer?
No, I wouldn't want to be Suge Knight lawyer. I don't think nobody with good sense would want to be his lawyer.
Thank you. In my opinion, Wayne, Suge Knight lawyer?
I'd be happy to, but unfortunately, I got too many cases, and I couldn't provide effective counsel. so I'm not available.
Y'all gonna get plenty knocks at y'all
Woo!
door.
Ray said he is not available. He got too many cases. Listen, y'all, I'm gonna roll right into this last story with Kenya Moore. They caught Andy out and about in the streets. They asked Andy because Kenya said that she, on her podcast, she said she was invited to the RHOA reunion and then uninvited. They asked Andy, and Andy, dancing around it and not saying it, told me everything I needed to know. I feel the doors closed, even though he threw it in at the end that, he loves Kenya. Let me see. I'm just waiting for it to queue up and then I will play it. So Andy Cohen, will Kenya Moore return to RHOA? He's like, well. All right, let's take a listen.
Andy, we have to ask you, now listen, Kenya said she was invited and then uninvited to the reunion. How true is this?
I have to watch her whole, I haven't watched her post yet.
Okay.
But
is that true? Is that part true?
We'll talk about it.
Oh my goodness, Andy. Well, is she coming back? Fans want her back. So what's the deal?
I love her. Listen, we there is so much more of this season left, and it is so good. Phaedra comes on in like 5 weeks. It is a jam, and you are gonna love it. And so right now, I'm kind of focusing on the rest of the season.
So not
You know
Kenya.
what I mean? What?
So you're not focusing on Kenya, but she's coming back
on the show.
Okay, so when you watch that confessional, let us know.
Okay.
Well, it looks like you were trying to say that she was invited and then uninvited.
That's what it looks like I was trying to say.
Kinda. You were like,
I don't know.
You're trying
I love her. I'll tell you that much.
I feel that said everything. The doors closed. Felicia, what are your thoughts?
It's unfortunate that so many of these women who are on these franchise shows get released, or things happen and they lose their positions and they lose their income, and then going to that Andy White Cohen man. I'm just irritated. I hate all the damn begging. I hate it. Things happen. You leave with your dignity and your self-respect, and stop playing up to this man out here with these roses in his hand, making funny faces. For what? For what? I remember when Phaedra wasn't allowed to come back. He did the same thing to her when they were asking about Phaedra. All of this indifference and stuff. They have people on there who are going to bring in the ratings and bring in the money. And so maybe he wants to see how well the season finishes up in terms of whether or not she's there versus when she was there. And maybe they'll have a talk. But I think we need to just stop begging for jobs and money and mismanaging our own money, so that we're in these situations where we have to be pleading to these white men for opportunities. I find that Black women have so much grace and dignity. We have so much great history. On one hand, we're getting beat down by these bums, and then we're asking the other bums for jobs. I'm just done with it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Leo, your thoughts?
I'm right there with Felicia, and I would hope. See, Kenya really needs some good people around her, or she needs to let them in, or maybe she needs to sit still. Because really, girl, I hope to not hear from you anymore. I am with Felicia. Stop begging these people for this job, honey. It is over. It's over. And leaving with your dignity is a good thing, because you get to choose your own path from here on out. Girl, accept it. It is over. All this stuff about I did this and who I was wrong and then she was wrong and all it, get over it. It is done. Listen, honey, these people do not want you. Okay? it is nothing to defend anymore. The job is over. Like they do not want you there. The production company, NBC, you done ran your mouth. Leave it. I hope to God not to hear from Kenya anymore about this situation ever again, unless it's somewhere a decade later and she can talk about all her other successes, and maybe people can forget about this and we can move on. And hopefully, even if she doesn't, because I know when people say let it go, we say that in terms of like you snap your fingers and you let it go. No, she may have to go through a personal journey with this transition. She was there for over a decade. She will have to transition, but publicly, she does not need to speak on this anymore. She don't need to do no recaps of the show. She don't need to do any of that.
Yeah.
She needs to be quiet, and she needs to go and start figuring out her next game plan and put all your energy and focus on that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Katrina, your thoughts?
Exactly. When you do clownery, that clownery come right back to bite you. Did nobody cause you to lose your job, Ken? You caused your own self to lose your job. You was out here laughing and joking around about Nene. Now you in the same position that Nene was in there, and you trying to do the same thing. But then you see what happened when Nene did everything that she did. She burnt that bridge with Andy, and you out here doing the same thing because Andy didn't cause you to lose your job. Britt Eden didn't even cause you to lose your job. You caused yourself to lose your job because you were responsible for your action. Kenya do not like to be told no, or that she thinks that she's smarter than everybody on the cast, and you outsmarted yourself. You came in there because ain't nobody in their right mind that define themselves as being scared of somebody that they're gonna pow you, and you showing pictures of them. Girl, you weren't scared of this woman. You thought it was gonna go over, but then when you see how the cast reacted, you had a different outcome because the junk was not funny. Whatever Britt Edie said, and people keep saying that she threatened Kenya. The thing of it is, she never showed it. I can say anybody can get mad and say anything in a conversation, like, "Girl, I'm gonna knock your head off." You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean I'm gonna do that. But you came out and you exposed this woman, whether the lady had the stuff on the internet or not. You still should have not brought it to no TV that people watch at night, especially some type kids watch this stuff. And you did this to try to get back at somebody because Kenya, I'm sorry, you are a nasty person. You brought the cookie lady for Tanya. You called her the C word. You 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 are a nasty person. You need to sit down and self-reflect and see how your life is going and stop trying to mess up other people's lives because you're jealous. And I'm not saying maybe she wasn't jealous of Britt Eater whatsoever, but you coming for this lady the way that you came for this lady shows that you're not a lady, because any other lady would not expose a woman the way you exposed that lady on that TV screen. And so now I feel sorry for Brooklyn. She got a college fund with no funds in it. As D White would say, how dreadful. You did this to yourself. That's all I got.
Thank you. Mel, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that well, I got a couple of thoughts. First off, I think that going forward on all the franchises of American Housewives, on Real Housewives, all the franchises, I hope that these women really do take into consideration that this show should just be promotion for their projects that really pays the bills. Because I think that when you have a foundation of a book, a fashion, a cream, or even with what's her name, Bethany did, whatever you do, this has to be promotion for that project. Because at any given time, Andy is not one of my favorite people. He will be indifferent. He will be the way he was in that video. You can't depend on Andy. You can't depend on Bravo. You have to take your own agency in your hands. You have to be up there to promote your products. You don't want to annoy the public too much, and have that as your basically as your promotion. And and I think that's the big thing. And I think also when it comes to Kenya, unfortunately, she was not very. She didn't show very much mercy to my girl, Miss Garcelle, when her kids were under attack by the troll farm. She kind of caught her a little too sensitive. And then when Nene, before her husband passed away, and during and after, she could, she didn't have really nice things to say about Nene. She said that Kenya said Bravo was the best place to work in the world. And now this year, it's the pits of hell. Like, what are we doing here? You can't have it both ways, Kenya. I think Kenya is very smart, and it's not even about Brit Eady. It's not about Brit Eady for me as a fan. Brit Eady came first of all. Brit Eady is no Mia. Let's get that straight. She is no Mia Thornton from Potomac, not by a long shot. So the fact that she's not giving that, and you out here exposing this, that, and all that makes no sense to me. Because what the thing that a lot of people miss is that Kenya, you've been physically attacked, unfortunately, on this program. And the way you handled that before was the way you should have handled it this time. Now, mind you, we don't have no evidence about Brit saying what, but we have that. We don't have no strong evidence about your life being in danger. It was a very heated conversation, but we did see you get dragged by Portia. Now, let me say this. When Portia came to your house, uninvited, she came to your house, you were not ready to see her because she wasn't showing mercy towards you. She was indifferent. She didn't give you an apology. So you did what a classy woman was supposed to do. You said, you know what? I'm not going to give you no stunts and shows. I'm not pulling up no papers. I'm not telling about when you were with R. Kelly, Portia. What I'm going to do is say, you know what? Listen, can you please leave my home? That's all you had to do. And Portia took herself and went out the door. When Britt came into your salon, you could have done the same thing you did. Now, mind you, Britt didn't touch you. But Portia did, and you, if anybody you would have felt threatened by it physically, would have been Portia coming into your home uninvited. You handle it the way you were supposed to, and the fact that she didn't do that at the salon meant that I don't know what that was. It was very confusing to me. So, I guess this is the bed that Kenya made for herself. She told the audience how women should be treated when they're having difficulties with Bravo. Basically show no mercy. So I mean, I'm sorry, but I guess that's what I give Kenya too. I'm gonna take her advice. She had no mercy for some other women, Black women who had difficulties with Bravos, and now they, again, he loves Garcelle, and he's seeing it a little bit. He's being a little softer when it comes to Nene. So now Kenya's an out. So I'm sorry, Kenya, but listen, it came back to bite you. So that's what I feel about that.
Julius, your thoughts?
She should have did the Candy approach. You should have left the franchise on good terms with the opening of coming back if you chose. She should not have the thing with, I remember hearing it was pictures that she put up in her salon. She should not have done that. And she allowed herself to be catty, petty, and vindictive. Now, I don't know this chick. I want to make a clarifying point. I don't know this woman. But when you do those type of things, you are going to have to go through consequences. And the consequence for Kenya is termination. You act out of line to disparage in a manner that's not with accordance to the ethics contract, you get terminated. She knew that when she was on the show originally, when she left and then she came back, she knew what that was. And so I'm not going to have any sympathy for her. She's doing the Nene route. Moaning, moping around, and complaining. Because let's be honest, Nene talk show not going to last that long either. Because she's still mad at Bravo. There is a way to do things. And the way that both of these women did it, they got the consequences to go along with it.
Tay, your thoughts?
You sold your soul to that show, Keno. Now you gonna make the bed and you gonna lie on the bed right there because you being nasty, toxic, and all you do is whine. Ooh. The only thing I'm worried about is your daughter. You better take care of your business, your hair care that you try to make some money out of it. That's all, Diva.
Thank you, Tay. Dustin, your thoughts?
She shouldn't have done what she did because now she's gonna have to pay the consequences, and she deserves to pay every consequence she gets. I think the show would be better off without her, to be honest with you, Diva.
Oh shoot! Thank you, Dustin. In my opinion,
you're welcome.
When you get to be the age that Kenya is, I think you got to have your priorities together.
Mm-hmm.
And for her, she didn't have her priorities together because you got a daughter and a salon that you put all your money into, and you threw it away for a newbie that was talking trash to you. I can't make that make sense. And you can flap your gums all you want, but you threw away your own check because a newbie was talking smack.
Mm-hmm.
And if you that dumb to let a newbie throw you off your square, then you get what you get.
Mm-hmm. Wayne, your thoughts?
You know, I remember when Kenya came on the show, she twirled herself all the way into that show. And she was real, nasty in the beginning, trying to, show her spot, and they let them act like that. These people that wouldn't normally act like that have let reality TV turn them into somebody they wasn't.
Mm.
And Kenya, with the money they was making, I don't really feel bad for Kenya as far as her financial situation. Because everybody losing jobs. But when you live beyond your means and trying to keep up with the Joneses, this is what happened. She was making good money. She probably didn't need that big house I think she had built.
Mm-hmm.
That she could have been living, like you say, in a studio apartment. Not really a studio apartment, but she didn't have to live as large.
I know what you're saying. I'm following you. Mm-hmm.
But she was on the show for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
My mother used to say it's a poor rat that got one hole to crawl into.
Mm.
She put all her eggs in one basket. And then they pulled the rug from under her. They allow these women, whoever these on these shows, they allow them to go left. Until somebody think they should go right or they went too far left. They allow her to do these things and now they want to get rid of her. When she did that picture, wherever her beauty salon stuff, you're not going to tell me somebody didn't know what she was going to do. I don't believe that. I believe they knew what she was going to do. It just turned out to be to her disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is all about money. If the fans don't like Kenya and she's not and she's not making Bravo any money, she has to go. That's with anything. If you're bringing down the ratings and you're not doing enough for the show, your little twirling and all that stuff is over. It's over. They don't want you. You're replaceable. And you'll be probably replaced for the next season. It's not about whether they like you. It ain't nothing personal. You ain't making them no money. It's all about the Benjamins. And if you're not producing or whatever you're doing is causing you not to produce and the people don't want, the fans don't want you, you gone. It's as simple as that. And if she didn't put her money away, all that money she put into a house and all that stuff, she could have had that money invested, working for her other kind of ways. And not only that, she's Kenya Moore. She can come right off of that show, start a YouTube page, and people will be watching her. It's an honest living. People want to hear what she got to say. I don't know how long she'll last. But on these YouTube streets, these people want to hear. And she can get on there. She going to get the followers. So it's more ways to make money. So it's not like she ain't out, out on the streets. She just got to manage her money and what she got coming in, try to manage that. And if she has to go to a studio apartment or something to accommodate her, so be it. So be it. I mean, So what if people look down on you because you're in a smaller place, but you're able to eat, you're able to pay for your car, you're able to send your daughter to school and do all the other things you need. So, it's just a job. She got fired. Move on. Thank you for the time I was there. I appreciate it. Time to go. Twirl your tail right on out the door into another job.
Ooh, y'all a little rough tonight. Suge ain't got a lawyer on this panel. Kenya ain't got no love. And Shannon Sharpe is done. But listen, did you say something, Felicia, before I close out?
I appreciate it when you were spot on. And one of the things when I'm listening, I was listening to you intently. When she became a liability, she had to go. Somebody had to pay Britt Eady, and they took it from whatever they was going to pay her. It makes good business sense. So I don't understand why they don't understand that someone has to pay for when you do things that cost the production, the business money. And she would do better if she would just, as Leo said, don't talk about it no more. Just leave it alone.
Oh my God.
Diva, I was going to say one thing too.
Yes, sure.
I was going to say, when you said about Shannon, Suge, and Kenya, we love our community, but you know what, 2025, we don't got time for the BS. So this week, these people are learning some hard lessons. You can't depend on your community when you got no sense in your damn head. So you know what? We ain't gonna get out there and be getting all messed up with their drama. No, we're gonna leave them out there to learn a lesson. My mother always said, a hard head make a soft ass. So that's what we're gonna be doing with these three right here. That's it.
Well, that's it and that's all. Oh, okay. Well, look at there. You love the panel, chemistry, and energy. I appreciate you, Lakeisha. Listen, y'all. The panel has spoken. The panel has spoken. And I can't even say nothing right now. The panel has spoken. I'm going to leave it at that. I want to thank y'all for being here. Y'all know the routine because y'all love, thank you, Sass K. Y'all love to cheat the diva. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, do me a favor, hit the like button on the way out. If you've been watching in the bushes for a long time, you know we be working over here. The diva try to come through every night with a show for y'all. So do me a favor. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Thank you and good night and goodbye, everybody.
Do that shit, that thing.